Welcome back to the Prepping and Pout podcast. This is episode 11, a little different topic this evening. We're going to be talking about Creator Hub Live, a recent conference that we attended, an event. I'm Jamie.
I'm Jason, and this is the Prepping and Pout podcast. The reason why we went to is because it was right here. It was very close to home. It wasn't expensive for a conference, in my opinion, but you had discount tickets, didn't you?
Yeah. So I follow somebody on Instagram, Brittany, the Hans family, and I went to another women's event that she put on. Ended up seeing a coworker there, and we kind of just network. It was a really cool women's event, and she was posting that she was going to the event, and I was like, okay, that's cool. Her other event was really cool as well. Like a woman-based type of thing, but this was different. This was open up to all creators.
Right.
And she posted, and a few times, like I kept seeing, like, hey, we have discount tickets if you want to go to this event. So I ended up messaging her, and she was like, yeah, I have like this awesome coupon code, and it came out to be a great deal for us to go. And like you said, with it being local, they also provided, like a lot of conferences, right? Like, not all inclusive, but discount at the hotel.
Yes.
It was at the JW Bonnet Creek. So it was a beautiful, beautiful hotel as well. So it was very inexpensive, I think, for the value that we got.
Yeah. And going to that type of event, right? And the goal of that event was to get creators and entrepreneurs in the same space, right? To network.
Right.
And what it did and what I noticed, and I would love to hear your take on it, but what I noticed was it got entrepreneurs in the room with, okay, how can I get my company's name out there, right? Because now you've got creators in the room who've got millions of followers and things like that. Like, how can I get my company's name out there? And then you got creators trying to figure out how they can get either marketing deals or how can they turn their business, because it is a business, how can they get some type of revenue, monetization, income stream from their content? So what was your take on basically putting those two businesses, entrepreneurs all in the same space? Like, how did you feel about
I thought it was
that?
very neat and creative, right? At first, when you sign up, it asks you, like, are you signing up as a creator or as an entrepreneur, right? And it's like, it's hard to answer because you're like, we're just here. Like,
I think we asked each other, like, babe, what are we?
Yeah.
Like,
What
I'm
are
not
you
thinking
doing?
we're entrepreneur.
I'm like, no, I think like podcasting is considered a creator. I don't know. But I think it is neat. And it wasn't until we started talking to people, I was like, okay, I see like the mindset behind this, right?
Correct.
Like you said, you have people who are creating, whether it's I met a lady who was doing, like, she posts deals of the day and like different websites, right? So creator or content creator for a makeup artist, but then you have the entrepreneurs who are like, what I consider the people who I felt like I talked to, they were like, where can we invest? Like, where is this business going? How many followers do they have? Is it profitable? And if we invest in this, what's our turnaround? So that's kind of how I saw it. Like, it was like Shark Tank, like people here selling, and then you have the investors to see what that looks like.
And honestly, we took some notes, right?
We
and
did.
I want to,
notebook.
honestly, I want to give some thanks and some flowers to, number one, Patrick Israel. He's the co-founder of it.
Yeah.
And then Iconic Becker, man. Hearing their story in the beginning, right? Last year was the first one. And at that time, it was Creator Fest.
He said.
And
which we didn't attend that one.
We did not attend that one. But to hear not even selling the first ticket until like 60 days before the event or something like that. Like, to hear the perseverance that they had to overcome and all the challenges that they even lost, I think, one sponsor at some point because
a big sponsor.
That was the first sponsor and they hadn't even sold any tickets yet, right?
Yeah.
So I think that was the biggest piece. And then to sum it all up and say, in 2025, they made their first profit, which whatever the amount was is what it was, but they haven't stopped, right?
Yeah.
They continue to pushed on. They had a Lamborghini Urus in there getting paint thrown on it.
Yeah, it
and
was a cool event.
it was really, really cool. But I think that the biggest piece and the biggest messages was just about how to overcome those things, how to overcome that mindset, not live in a limited space. You have to think bigger for yourself in order to achieve those things that you want to achieve. So
Yeah.
I think it was pretty cool to see what they've built, and I think it's going to blow up, man.
I think so
honestly.
too. And I think we've attended conferences for our 9 to 5 jobs, right? Like I've
Yes.
spoke at conferences before. I've gone to plenty. You've gone to plenty of conferences. And it was different this go around where it wasn't like I was looking for a product to bring back to my company that we can use to enhance the business. I wasn't speaking. I wasn't there on behalf of somebody else. Like it was just us kind of not knowing what to expect, but
Right.
just like, hey, and starting like doing this podcast. And I mean, we're not like influencers or anything like that, but just to kind of get in that room to see like, what is this all about?
Right,
Because I don't
right.
think we started this with a mindset like, oh, we're going to do this and get rich. For me, it's like, hey, it's an hour that we can sit down and talk
Right.
and make content, I
Yeah.
guess, essentially, but it wasn't like a big money maker mindset at first.
Correct.
Is there money to be had? Like if you start doing ads or have a product? Yes. But it was neat to get in the room, just kind of like very a virgin in the space to see what they have to offer or what is this about. And it was very humbling as well.
For sure. And a big piece that I realized hearing certain people speak is the number of followers you have don't translate to how much money you're making.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can have 1 million followers. Doesn't mean you've got $1 million in the bank. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was nice to hear. It was cool to hear, hey, listen, this is how you turn your followers into an income stream, a revenue stream, right? This is how you, and I think that is where we need to put the pieces together, because they say, listen, if you're putting content out there, that is a business. You need to realize that. And these are the things, they literally broke it down. Do this.
Yeah.
Do this. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it wasn't them telling you how to do your content. They were telling you how to take your content and use it as a marketing device for you to be able to build on and actually build something for yourself and your family. That for me is really why I felt like that's something that we needed to do, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're not doing that, then this is just a hobby.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But if somebody's laying it out like, if you do this right here,
Here's the blueprint.
here's the blueprint.
Yeah.
I think that piece to me was really cool. And we met some people.
We did, yeah. And I think that's part of it too. It's just to challenge yourself, get out of your comfort zone. I think like it was a good way to break the ice our first time going to one, kind of what to expect. And I'm a huge introvert, right? So kind of how it went is we got there on a Friday,
There was
checked
a
into
gala.
the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Went to the bar, had a my first drink after surgery.
That was your first outing after
That was
surgery.
it was 5 weeks after surgery. My first time going out
Yeah.
in public at
Yeah.
all was 5 weeks, and my very first sip of a cocktail, which I had a gin Negroni that was amazing.
Bartender was on point.
Yes, very worth it. So then we kind of saw people, right? And I was like, oh my God, these are like people. Like I've
Right.
seen them. I know them.
Yeah.
I'm seeing them at the bar. It's like, oh, this is so weird.
It is.
So yes, they did a gala that first night, a gala, and it was beautiful. So they have
It was
all the
cool.
vendors there. Everyone was dressed up. You could take pictures. So they had like a huge dance floor, everyone drinking, and I guess, found ourselves like at a table for two, far away, kind of just watching. And then I was like, I don't know, like, this is crazy. I'm not like talking to these people, right? It's so
Yeah.
weird. But like we said, when you go to a conference for your job, it's like social butterfly, like, hi,
Yes.
I'm Jamie with so-and-so.
Yeah.
But this is like, oh my God, this is different. So you said the first challenge, you're like,
did.
okay, how are you going to go up to someone and introduce yourself and tell them what you do? And I
Correct.
was like, oh, here comes the sweat. Okay. But I did. I
Yes, you
accepted
did.
the first challenge.
killed it.
I went up to somebody who had a business one of the promos was Voss Water, and
Yes,
the
yes,
creators
yes, yes.
that were there is they like bedazzle them. They
Yep.
have like a whole cake business and other business, but at that time it was like bedazzling the Voss water bottles. So that was my first pinky toe in the water.
And I feel like we had to have that moment because we realized later when you run into some people and you ask them what they do or what what kind of content they have, like they beat around the bush, and then after 5-10 minutes they walk away, and I'm like, babe, what do they do? You're like, I have absolutely no idea what that guy does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was like for us,
A
it
good
was like
learning lesson.
we need to make sure we understand we have a podcast, Preppy and Pout. We talk about this. And so kind of having that pitch down helped anybody that we met, right? Be able for them to know, okay, this is what they do, and okay, let's link up type of thing.
It's kind of like you're very short, like you have your elevator speech is what they call it in the corporate world. Like, how are you going to get your business out in 5 seconds because we're stopping at the next floor? Correct. How are you going to leave an impression for that person?
Correct.
So I think anything you do in life, I think there's even through the hardest of times, there's always something to learn. And that was one of the takeaways I had is really cool, awesome people, but there was, some people that stuck out that's like, okay, I'm going to learn from this because it was great talking to them and build a great connection. But it's like, if I want to advertise what we do, like you said, I need to be very direct, not like, well, me and my husband, like we started a podcast, like, hey, Preppy and Pout podcast.
Right.
We talk about some good things. We talk about some bad things.
Why don't you follow us? Yes.
We do preppy things, like very confident and say what you do. That was a big takeaway. So for anyone, like, even if it's not something that you've started on your own, I think just saying it with confidence brings a whole other level of like, okay, like they got their shit together.
Well, because here's the difference, right? This is the third conference I've been to this year, right? The first one was another business that we're in. The second one was for my job. And then this was the third one. So this one was really, we went out, searched it, found it, and attended it. So this one was different.
It was
for
different.
Me, right?
It was a different feeling.
The one for the company was awesome, right? The accommodations were amazing. They hosted amazing. They took care of you very well. This one was different because it was literally just for us. Something that we started together. And I think for me, that was the difference because when I'm at the company conference, I've got the company name, company logo.
Everyone knows who you are, where you're from.
Yeah. So people are approaching me in a different mindset because if they're a vendor, let's say like a tire vendor came up to me, they're like, oh, dude, hey, listen, you need us in your fleet. So you know what I mean? So they're just pitching at you because they see that name, they see the magnitude of the company you're with. When you're wearing your own brand and it's you that you're there, you got to move differently.
Yeah, you have to talk
move
different.
Yeah, you got to move differently. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It was really cool.
So that was the first night. Friday was the gala, like kind of just an icebreaker mingle where everyone got in the same
fog
room.
Everywhere.
Yeah, it was
like,
just
it
like
was,
a big
cool.
Miami Vice nightclub type of vibes. And then like I guess the main attraction in there was they had this massive glass wall built plexiglass
partition almost,
with the Lambo in there.
And
there was a guy, I'm like, what is going on? So I started looking it up, and he takes paint and like literally throws it and splashes it on very high-end cars.
$500,000 car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is wild, but it was so captivating to watch because we found ourselves standing there almost the entire time.
Right.
Because we're like, what's going to happen? The build up, the anticipation. And then they come out. They have like the models walking around the car with the paint. It's like this whole show build up. And then he takes the cup and he takes the paint and just.
That's it.
And it's like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
But it was the coolest thing. Super cool people. Like, ended up linking up afterwards, sending him the video to post. Like, very cool people.
Yeah. And that's where that entrepreneur and creator, they share that space, right? Because they got the sponsorship from Lamborghini to have that there. And he's a creator. I mean, the man had on basically a suit. It was a white suit with splash paint all over it with some fresh white Air Forces. Right. All the ladies are in all white. So it was a whole show. It was a legit show.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, he's just throwing paint on a car that he does not own. But it was a show. It was entertaining.
Super innovative.
Yeah. So it was cool to see that not everybody was doing the same thing. Everybody had their own niche and they were passionate about it.
Yep.
And they were just networking. We met a guy that we might have a Preppy and Pouch sign.
Yeah, we were standing there waiting for the car show thing to pop off, and everyone's just so nice, right? Because everyone's kind of there with the same mindset. So everyone's like very interested, like, what do you do? What do you do? So it's just a lot of that all night. And we met a guy who makes like neon signs. He travels and sends them all over, and he captured the name of the podcast, and then he ended up sending me a picture.
He's smart.
He asked for a picture of this wall and then sent us a picture of what it would look like, and it was so pretty.
Us AI in it. We gotta plug that in somehow because it doesn't look like
me like crazy,
but it looks like me.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, that's what I'm gonna look like in 40
But
years.
He had the lights, he had the wall. It looked really good.
Super
up there.
cool. Yeah.
So that was entrepreneur.
Yep.
Like he was just trying to get his name out there, right?
Yep.
So I think that was cool. Let's see. I guess, did you have any notes for speakers that spoke to you?
After Friday, that was kind of like the icebreaker. And then Saturday and Sunday was the conferences you could attend. And they kind of broke it out, normal conference style. Room A is this, room B is this. So we attended the conference. So it was a lot of good information. It was people who started their business from nothing and went through their success story, sharing the blueprint of how they monetize their business. I think a lot of the takeaways for me, like you said, is the persistence, because we do have to full-time jobs aside of this, or parents. And it's like, this is something I feel very passionate about. And I think it's a good challenge for me because I've never been good at public speaking. Like, it's always been my arch nemesis when I know I have to speak. And I feel very like fluid in this space, more so than I ever thought I would. So it's neat hearing people talk about how they've stuck with it.
Yes.
Right. So I think, some of the things I jotted down in my notebook are just like very key. I always look for like key one hitters.
Yeah.
And so a few of them I wrote down, is business with the wrong people is expensive. So if you're going into business someone and it's the wrong type of caliber of person, their integrity is not there, shady stuff is going on in the background, or
Cost you money.
It's just money driven, then that can be very expensive, right? Going into business with the wrong people can be very expensive. And then this is something I wrote down that the owner, like the starter of Creator Fest,
Iconic.
he said this, and this was so cool to me, and it reminded me of like playing Call of Duty, right? Like, whenever I would play, I just walk around like, oh my God, where are the enemies? Like, I can't find anyone. So this stuck out to me big time. You're in the right place when the enemies are there. So it reminded me of Call of Duty, right? Because if you're just walking around, you're not in the right place.
Right.
But once you start seeing that fire come, you're like, okay, I'm in the right place.
Yeah. Yeah. And he talked a lot about all the, not clout, but hate that he was getting, like, oh man, this thing's not going to sell out, and oh, what are you guys trying to do? Like,
message me back when you have 1 million followers.
Which is, we understand it. We all know social media, right? But for me, it's just hard for me to understand that you're going to take the time out of your day to knock somebody down who's trying to build on something, who's trying to create something. You know what I mean? Even if it's not, a roofing business, something that you see as legit.
If it's not your thing, just keep scrolling.
Right. Oh man. So I have one from the School of Hard Knocks that was there.
Yeah,
right?
They were good.
Yeah, and they interview celebrities and billionaires and millionaires, right? And one thing that they said was, you can't be addicted to education and allergic to execution.
That was strong. Yeah.
And that's, even in the other business that we do, it's the same mindset, right? If you're trying to just learn everything, but you never take that step or that actual action, right? If you don't have any intention in what you're doing, you can sit behind the book all day. You can buy all the how-tos and guides but if you don't execute at anything, you're just, you know what I mean?
Right.
You just got all this education and you haven't done anything with it.
And that business is financial literacy, right?
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
educating people on what your future looks like, how
Right.
to invest properly, take care of your family.
Yes.
So I think that's very coinciding with that is you can have that knowledge, but if you're not teaching the younger generation, the youth, families who aren't exposed to financial literacy,
Yes.
it does you no good just keeping it in.
Exactly. Another one. One takeaway we got from that conference was ask followers what they want, and that's what we did on episode. What was that? 9? Yeah, episode 9. We asked, and we got a phone call.
Yeah.
Right. So
it was neat to see like just little things like that. They're like, hey, you guys. I think I know what the people who listen to this podcast want to hear, but they're like, do you really? Are you just assuming? So they're like, ask. So we did like, hey, send us some ideas. And then, like you said, we got a phone call like, hey, I was thinking that you guys can talk about this. And it's like, okay, it worked. And it's just small little tidbits like that. And then when they talk about like monetizing your business, right? It's like ads or getting sponsors or things. But for me, it's, I guess, I wouldn't say maybe my downfall, but I just think like small. I'm a very like, to me, small wins are big wins, right? Like in the morning when I wake up and my coffee is good, like that is a win. If I wake up on a yacht in France, like that's cool, but like I really wholeheartedly appreciate the small wins. So I'm a checklist type of person.
Okay.
Like, you see with my book, yes, I can do digital notes and digital everything, but there is something, and the people who are like this, like they get it.
Right.
There's something so satisfying about writing something down with a pen, saying, okay, this is what I have to do, and scratching it off. Like, I don't know. There is just something ultra satisfying about that.
Accomplishment.
Yeah. So when I think about like, okay, yes, we do the podcast, but if I were to turn this into something tangible, like checklist queen, like a checklist for when you wake up in the morning. What are you going to do? A checklist when you get to work. What are you going to do? Hey, it's Saturday cleaning day. What's a checklist you can do? Like I think about like all the things you can just mark off with the checklist.
Yeah. And one of your videos that got the most attention was things to get together before you go to surgery. Was it? Yeah.
So I made a TikTok, and it was just like a little checklist of things to have and prepare for before you go to surgery. And oh my God, like everyone's like, oh, thank you so much. I didn't think about that. Or, hey, I thought about bringing a heating pad too. So it's very like people look for those things. I do too. Like, hey, before you go on a cruise, what should you pack? Like people
I'm going on a cruise next week. Yeah. Let me see what
like people like look for that stuff, and you can do a digital one or a printout one. But I think that's something I've kind of been working on in the background is some preppy checklists.
So coming soon, we'll see a preppy
some
checklist.
Just because
awesome.
I printed out some for my kids and passed them out in the morning of them to like do.
I'm sure they love that.
I haven't seen them since.
Patrick Israel, the co-founder. One thing he said, and I started off.
You met him in the bathroom before he went on stage.
Yeah. And it was funny because I didn't know it was him at first, and I was like, oh, that's Patty.
But I'm like, who the hell is Patty?
I was like, man, that's Patty right there. Hey, man, kill it, brother.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, before we even saw him, you're like, his energy. And I'm like, okay, everyone's energy. They're so hype. And then when he got on stage, you're like, that's Patty. I'm like, who the heck?
Yeah,
we don't know
we're cool
Patty.
now. Yeah, it's Patty. But he said attention is a commodity. And I think that is what gets the creators into the entrepreneur space, right? Because if you know what you're doing with the attention you're getting, you can turn it into a commodity. You know what I mean? And that's where you turn it into a business.
Yeah.
So I am very interested to see how your checklist goes and see the attention it grabs. And I think the last note I got, I don't know if you have any more. One of the last notes I have is follow one course until successful.
Okay. So I jotted down a few things in regards to that. I don't remember who the speaker was. I didn't jot it down, but I have stars around it. So that means I'm a doodler. So when I put the stars around, that means it's good. So it's kind of in line with that success leaves clues. Right. And I think we've talked about like things that have nagged at you for a while. Like it doesn't have to be something that says do this to make money, but if it's something that you feel passionate about and it's like that nagging thing when you go to sleep, when you wake up, it's just something that constantly nags at you, that can be something successful, right? And success doesn't have to be that, hey, I have $1 million in the account. It could be talking about the surgery is opened up a door for someone to go to the doctor. To me,
Right.
that's success.
Oh,
Like that
100%.
helped one person. Like,
Yes.
why not? It's
Right.
easy for me to get up here and talk about my experience, what I went through. So success does leave clues along the way. And then to back up into that is just get started and do something. Just get started, do something.
Yes.
And I think that's where you push me, because I said about this podcast over a few espresso martinis, and then I went for a massage, and
Amazon boxes are showing
yeah,
up.
and then you're sending me pictures of this microphone. I'm
Yep,
like,
yep.
oh my god,
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah,
shouldn't have
yeah.
said anything, but you have to start,
Yes,
or I
yes.
would still just be sitting here like, oh, imagine if we had a podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and you just gotta start.
Yeah, and it's funny because you start. There's a push to get started,
There
but
is.
then to the point Iconic made, there's a push to get to that success and what they call success, right? And it took them 8-9 months of calling and calling,
Yeah.
rejection after rejection. I mean, I
He
think he
showed
said they
his
made like tens of thousands of phone calls,
Yeah.
right?
And they show a very quick snippet, but you can see like him sitting at the phone day in and day out,
Yes.
emails and calling.
Yes.
And
Yeah. And then another thing that he did good is he has a AI page where
Yeah.
he was able to grow that in a very short time just to get more exposure, right? And just doing different things. So honestly, man, it was, I feel like it was right in our niche.
yeah.
The one thing I would ask, and I'm just curious what you think, if you were to change anything about the event, what would that look like? Whether, because the venue was nice, it was a very
Yeah,
good, and they
beautiful.
plan on doing it there every
It was
single
great.
time.
Yeah, it was a
Yes.
beautiful hotel, pool, resort, food,
Is there
drinks, everything.
anything you would change
Um,
about it?
gosh, that's a hard question, because I went in so humble and I was like in awe.
We had no idea what to expect.
Yeah, because we go to these corporate conferences and you just expect everything. The AV is going to be good. You just know, like,
Yes.
there's not going to be a hiccup.
Right.
And with this being put on by a creator and entrepreneur, it's like, it was seamless.
Yes.
I
It
mean,
was very
the
good.
sound, the energy, the events, everything was great. He did say something about the barcode, right? Where you scan it and have like the map and layout.
Yeah.
I think if I had to, I wouldn't even say change, but just enhance it, is maybe have, I've gone to one corporate event where they have like a digital app. So what would happen is you would scan the barcode and it would show you like, hey, if you want to meet and talk about IG pages, meet me at the bar at 6. And
Oh.
everyone could say like, oh, okay, like, hey, somebody who has 20,000 followers, she's hosting a quick little sidebar
Really?
after the event. Yeah. So I think just something like that to try and bring a little more like
Network.
close groups
Yeah,
together.
small.
Yeah, which they did a version
yeah.
of that, because they did have breakout rooms
Right.
at some point at the event. But I think just to have maybe like an app where all attendees have access and they have like a chat that they can keep going. Like, hey, I'm Jamie. I'm Preppy and Pout podcast. If anyone has any ideas, we're going to be at the pool for 2 hours.
Right.
Come say hey.
That's cool. I didn't think about that. That's actually pretty cool. I think the only thing I would enhance, that was very good the way you put that.
I wouldn't change. It was great.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Is on our name tags. If they would have put like if we could have sent them the QR codes and that would have, because I know that they said that they had some issues with the badges. So I
Yeah.
understand that, right? They put on a
Yeah.
pretty big event in a
Yeah.
very short amount of time. But yeah, if they could have had like, if you could have had Preppy and Pout on your actual badge with a QR code, right? Where
You just scan it.
somebody says, yeah, what do? You just scan it.
And
you're
it
good
takes
to go.
us to your page?
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. And then I would have liked, once we go next year, because I'm sure we're going back, we need to be decked out in our own.
Merch.
Yeah, we need to be decked out.
Yeah, I did notice that. It was that's a good point, because at the gala, like the music was out and it was cool. So as we were telling people, we're like screaming like, it's PRE,
Yeah.
PP.
Yeah,
And some
yeah,
people would
yeah.
just hand you their phone to type in and they're like, okay, I'll follow you.
Right.
But if we just put our name badge out and they scan it and it
That's
goes
it.
right to your
That's
page,
it.
which that may have been the intent, because
think
when we
so.
filled out our registration, it did ask for our handle. So
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah,
But it
yeah.
was great.
Yeah, and we
met some
gained
really
30-something followers.
yeah,
that
I was like,
weekend.
okay, I don't talk a lot, so maybe like, oh, get like 10 people, but we ended up getting 34 followers and met some really cool people.
Yeah, it was a good time.
It
I
was a
can't
good
wait for
time.
next year. I think
Good
it'll be
challenge
awesome.
for us. Thanks for tuning in with us as we discuss Creator Fests, aka Creator Hub Live now. We had a lot of good takeaways, built a lot of good networks and connections.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to see what comes next for Preppy and Pout after that conference. That was good. But don't forget, we post Fridays 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on all platforms.